people, the headlines, the issues impacting you, all on This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
And welcome back to This Week in Cincinnati. I'm Craig McKee. Spring started this week. Everyone's celebrating that. And with the warmer weather, many of you will start visiting area parks. The Great Parks of Hamilton County has been around for decades, of course. It has now completed its first ever comprehensive master plan. After talking with thousands of people, the plan focuses on 5 different goals. Be a recognized leader in conservation, provide innovative programming as a gateway to nature exploration, create outstanding experiences, advance fiscal health, and operate with high standards of excellence. Now, joining us now this morning to talk a little bit more about those goals and how they will be achieved is Jack Sutton, CEO of Great Parks of Hamilton County. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, why did it take so long, as the Great Parks has been around, why is it taking this long to come up with a comprehensive plan?
Well, of course, we've been around 89 years, and we've operated under plans throughout that entire time. Capital improvement plans, master plans. What we embarked on 2 years ago was truly a fully comprehensive plan, which really merges strategic planning with physical planning to some degree. We engaged with the public very heavily. So beginning in 2017, we developed an advisory committee, 19-person advisory committee, a diverse committee from all across Hamilton County. Then throughout a year and a half period of time, we had public meetings, we had opportunities to submit input via the internet, through phone surveys, just a wide array of public engagement.
When you talk about the leader in conservation, how do you reach that goal, and what does that really mean?
Well, Great Parks of Hamilton County is the largest landowner in Hamilton County, over 17,000 acres, and 80% of that is devoted to preservation and biodiversity, conservation of natural resources. It's kind of core to our mission. It's why we're established. So we're already doing that work, but we want to sort of remind the public that we have the experience, the knowledge, and we're implementing good best practices to preserve our natural resources.
And some of the feedback on what people were specifically looking for tied to different programs and events, what can people maybe expect in the coming year?
Well, what we heard from the public in terms of programming, 2 things that are very important are wellness and adventure. We have a younger population kind of moving in. The millennial population over the next several years will be the largest segment of our demographics. And many of them, they want to get out in the parks, they want to disconnect from their device, at least for a period of time, and then enjoy fresh air, healthy activities, paddling, hiking, mountain climbing, and so forth. So opportunities to create programming geared towards trends and changes in recreation.
Being able to link different communities is kind of key to a park system. Right now, not every community is linked. You may have to drive to actually go for a walk, let's say, to go enjoy the great outdoors, which kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. You want to be able to walk outside your door, hit a trail, and go. Maybe it's a bike trail or walking trail, or just go to the park. Is there a plan to link these communities with different bike trail systems to where you can have a fully walkable Hamilton County?
Well, certainly what we heard, one of the priorities the public would like us to focus on are trails of all types, not only paved trails and shared use trails, mountain bike trails, hiking trails, nature trails, but also a way for people to connect to parks without maybe having to drive. Now, we also have plans in place to connect parks by trails. For example, there's a plan in place to connect the Little Miami Scenic Trail to downtown Cincinnati, and that's underway, and we're taking the next phase. In about 2 years, we'll get started with that. But connecting parks to parks, connecting greenways, and allowing people to have easier access to parks is what we were told.
There's a dollar figure attached to everything, obviously. When you talk about the impact, the financial impact that the parks have on our community, and then the return on investment, and so the tax dollars you're getting from the people, and then that investment that goes back to the taxpayer, what's the balance in that?
We actually did a study with the University of Cincinnati in 2015, and they studied all of our economic activities, the tax that's collected from county residents, as well as the user fees and so forth. And it's about a 4-to-1 benefit, meaning for every $1 in property tax that goes to Great Parks, there's a $4 economic impact across the county, which equates to about $80 million of economic impact every year.
Okay, so right now you have a $1 million tax levy that helps fund the park system, and you also have grants or donations from very nice families in our community, and we certainly appreciate that on every avenue and different programs in our county and our communities here. But moving forward, will that 1 mil take care of all of your costs over the next 5, 10 years?
Well, actually, our funding stream is broken up in a couple of ways, and we're one of the most self-reliant park districts in Ohio. So of our total budgeted revenue each year, about 55% comes from that 1 mil tax. The other 45% comes from user fees such as greens fees, camping fees, picnic fees, a wide variety of earned income sources, which helps us reduce our reliance on taxes. So we're past a levy in 2016. That's a 10-year levy. We wouldn't be scheduled to go back to the voters on that levy until 2026. We are in a very stable place. We do have expenses. We have aging infrastructure like most public entities, and we're working on those to make sure we make those improvements in a priority order.
But when you look at this comprehensive plan, can you fund this comprehensive plan with the tax levy that's in place, with the funds you have in place currently?
Well, let me be clear. This plan is not a capital improvement plan. It's basically a strategic plan. Next step will be we'll go into individual park master plans and look at necessary improvements, maybe offering new offerings, and with that we'll have to see what can we afford, and it's what can we do within our existing budget. Can we seek out outside funding through grants and other sources, develop partnerships with other entities to help meet those goals.
So this plan isn't all right everyone, this plan is going to be executed in the next 2 years and we're going to be done. This is a 10-year, 15, 20 year?
It's literally a 10 to 15-year strategic plan. I always couch it as it's a set of guardrails. It gives us priorities. The public says, here are the things we like to do, here are the things we're doing less of, and it'll help us be a guide to implementing the future.
So then what's the timeline on the operational plan?
Operational plan, basically each year we develop an individual budget plan. The strategic plan is essentially a 10-year vision, and we already have a 10-year capital plan that we're working towards, working at those most high priority capital improvements that we need to take care of.
So the plan's in place, you're already starting to work and just kind of ticking the boxes as you go. The priority for those who are using the park systems and trying to figure out the best solutions for those.
And we're continually seeking input. So as we enter into the next phase of park improvement plans, there'll be public engagement related to that. So if your favorite park is Sharon Woods, we'll have availability methodologies for people to tell us, okay, I love Sharon Woods, here's what I want to do more of at Sharon Woods, here's what I'm not doing so much of at Sharon Woods, and that'll help us guide the future.
What people enjoyed in parks 10 years ago is different now, right? Because you're seeing millennials and how they interact with the parks compared to an older generation.
Here's a great example of that, stand-up paddleboarding. 10 years ago, we didn't have stand-up paddleboarding, at least in our parks. It was probably something happening, but it is a wave that's growing. We just received a grant from ODNR to develop a stand-up paddleboarding program this summer. So that's one of the ways where we're kind of letting the master plan inform us. Public wants a new activity, how can we deliver?
Adapting to those who use the parks. All right. Well, Jack Sutton, thank you so much for being with us this morning on This Week in Cincinnati.
Thanks for having me.